Williamson here. We're going to start down here in the yellow.
First of all, congratulations for winning the series. Overall, how you see the series, and especially when they're talking about the today's match, so how you see the match today? Thank you.
Yeah, a great series, hard fought. A series of small margins, both all games were really competitive, and all pitches varied a bit and required a lot of assessment and adjustment, and the game went down to the wire and the decider, which is always great, and for us obviously pleasing to get across the line, see a lot of good contributions throughout the series, although a number of learnings as well, and to top it off with a fantastic knock from Glenn Phillips was really special.
Down here, Kane.
Hey Kane, congratulations on a series victory. This is Behram Qazi from Grassroots Cricket. So you had a number of positives in this series. Of course, Glenn Phillips at 6 was absolutely belligerent, so talk a bit about him and how important he will be in a World Cup here. And also in Michael Bracewell, you found a utility player who has contributed very, very frequently with both bat and ball, and has consistently taken wickets as well in the middle, especially that of Babar Azam's. So how important will he be as part of your plans in India?
Yeah, I guess starting with Glenn, I think we've all seen the X factor that he brings, certainly in the T20 format, and the power and how dynamic he is as a player, and to get the opportunities in ODI cricket and basically sort of translate or transfer those skill sets. We saw it, of the highest degree today, and he was exceptional and played with real freedom, and obviously an amazing contribution. The game was right in the balance, and he came out and really threw a punch in terms of his style of play. So a very special player, and Michael Bracewell, throughout the series, like you mentioned, a real utility player, an all-rounder that offers in all areas, and in the field as well. So been a big player for us over the last year or so, since he's been in the side and in all formats, and just continuing to grow and get that experience at the international level. But he's been a big player for us, and we all know how valuable those all-round options are in all the different conditions. So he's made fantastic contributions throughout this series.
Ken, how pleasing it is to finish the tour with a series victory in a country where you had not toured before.
Yeah, there are a number of unknowns when you arrive and you haven't played in Pakistan before, and so trying to assess that and try and get some game plans together, and they varied throughout this series, which I think is just a characteristic of the international game when you play in different countries, and you have to think on your feet, and that was really pleasing for us as a team to be able to do that. Not just the conditions in general, but I think from game to game they did change, and we saw a lot of different perhaps threats with the ball at different stages, and trying to sort of work out ways to score, and the series ebbed and flowed. So it was great to see a lot of positives in that department, but also a number of things to touch on and keep working on, as a side to keep moving forward.
Down here.
Hello, Kane. Congratulations to you and the Black Caps for some really good cricket over the last 3 weeks. I don't mean to be a downer, but you've skipped Christmas, you've been cooped up in the Movenpick, there's a lot of cricket coming up. How's team morale going into India?
Yeah, good. As a team, it's been fantastic. Being over here and playing, and you mentioned the hotel, and the hotel's been great. Food's been great, and the people have been brilliant. So we've had a really enjoyable time, and the cricket's always tough when you play Pakistan, whether it's home or away. So you're always up for a tough fight on the field, but on and off the field, it's been really, really enjoyable. So there'll be a few new faces as well going to India, and the tours are quite dense. Lots and lots of cricket in quite short periods of time, but they're really excited at that opportunity, and have really, really enjoyed their time here in Pakistan as well. We all have.
Ken, what do you say about the standard of the wickets of the pitches in all 3 ODIs?
In the ODIs, yeah, I think they've been really competitive pitches that have been a nice balance, I think, between bat and ball. I suppose we've seen some that have spun quite a lot and some that perhaps haven't. And, as sides, you're just trying to adjust your games to be effective, whether that's with the bat and the ball. And, almost reflective of tournament cricket, really, where you play at multiple venues, although we've only been here in Karachi, we've seen a variety of conditions. I think the time of year has probably got a bit to do with that, but seeing all games be quite tight, bowlers, fast bowlers, spin bowlers, whether that's getting some reverse swing or turn off the pitch, and batters having to work hard and work through some tough periods. It's been different to back home for sure, and I think really competitive.
Over here, then over here.
Kane, this was a very close game and a very exciting game. Where Pakistan went wrong and you snatched the game from them?
Yeah, look, it was very much in the balance. I think at the halfway stage, I think both teams were quite curious to see how the pitch would play out in the second innings and in the first. And we saw in the last game the turn that was on display, and today not so much. And that's great. You have to think on your feet. And I think at the halfway stage it was probably a par total, a pretty good one, because you know that you can try and keep things tight and make players take tough options. But as a side, I also think we probably made a few errors that we want to be better in. But we were put under pressure at different stages, and it was in the balance here right through, coming into perhaps the last 10 overs. We're probably a couple of wickets down more than we would have liked. But then obviously you see a knock like from Glenn Phillips. It was incredibly special, and no one really saw it coming, although we know what he can do, with the context of the match being in the balance, and to come out and play the way he did was special, and one of those knocks, yeah.
Right, two more after this, guys. One over here and then one down the back.
Ken, a series victory in subcontinent must be special for you and your team, and that too before the World Cup in subcontinent. How you describe this victory?
Yeah, it is special. We always know, whether it's home or away, how tough the cricket is against Pakistan. They're always a very strong side, and so to come here and play well as a unit throughout the series and get a series win is a really good effort by the team, and great opportunity to take a lot of learnings from it as well. At the first time here, and these sorts of conditions, where it's been a wee while, I think, as a side where we've been exposed to them. So it was nice to do that, and then we'll look forward to the Indian series next. So yeah, a lot of good from it and a lot of learnings as well.
Right, there, and then last one down the back.
Williamson, Pakistani skipper Babar Azam has often faced criticism for playing slow. His strike rate has always been a talk of the town. He is also considered one of the Fab 4 or Fab 5 batter. How do you rate him?
He's an amazing player. Yeah, I mean, every time he's come out, and we've seen obviously a number of innings throughout the years, and he's a very, very special, world-class player. So, he's, he can take the game away from you. He can play in all formats. He's got all the different gears, and he certainly showed his class throughout this series, and he's going to continue to do it, I've got no doubt, in the years to come. So, yeah, a very special player.
Hey Ken, when you lose your wicket at that time, Glenn Phillips is in the dressing room. So what plan you share with him?
Yeah, I think we lost them both quite quickly, and he just walked out and did his thing. To be honest, he wasn't feeling too good. He was quite sick, actually. He went off the park and wasn't too good. That's why he ended up batting a little bit lower than he did in the last couple of games. And yeah, came out and saw things very, very clearly and played an incredible knock. I mean, some of the shots that we saw were amazing. So for us as a team, and with the game and the balance, to see an innings like that is, it's what you hope for, but certainly don't expect, and a special knock.
Right, wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.